Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I am sitting here barefaced because we're gonna get ready together, but I took a little poll over on my Instagram, which is just KBella Beauty, and I put up some different categories like foundation, blush, bronzer, lip products, highlight, which I kind of forgot until just a few minutes ago as I'm trying to get ready. And I thought that I would have you vote on what you wanted to see me use. And we're gonna chit chat a little bit. I haven't filmed in a while. I have some updates for you. And then I do have the BK Beauty lashes in collaboration with Risa Does Makeup. So I'm gonna wear a pair of those as well. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Kelly and I love all things makeup and beauty. I love talking, I love makeup, I love talking about makeup. So if you like to chat about makeup too, I would love to have you subscribe and be part of the KBella fam. But why don't we go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, so I didn't have you guys vote on every category. I just had you vote on some categories that I had multiples of. Like for example, primer. I've already primed my face. I will link what I put in the description box down below, but some things I just don't have multiples of. So that's why we're only voting on a few things here. And I do also want to use my Auric Glow Lust. This is in the shade Morganite, and it's in my project pan. So that's why I want to use it. I'm having a hard time wearing makeup these days. Actually, I should scoot you in. Hold on a minute. Okay, that's better. I'm having a hard time wearing makeup these days because if you are new here, I had a baby in August, so he is almost 7 months old at this point, and he's still sleeping in our room. He still wakes up multiple times a night, and so getting up in the morning to do my makeup before work has just not been a priority, really. Sleep has been a priority. So I wanted to incorporate a few project pan items here. This product being one of them, the Auric Glow Lust. I know typically with a new foundation or a newer foundation, I wouldn't use a product like that, but you know, that's okay. We're just gonna make this my own today. So one of the categories I did have y'all vote on was foundation. And so I will list the options up here. I think I had like Pat McGrath, Juvia's Place, Hourglass, and NARS. So like 4 big name foundations, and you guys voted. And Juvia's Place was the winner. This is the new Juvia's Place I Am Magic Natural Radiance Foundation. I am in the shade Alexandria. Now I did mention that I had tried this before. I've only worn it one other time, and I think in one of my recent videos I mentioned that if y'all wanted to see this, we could do it in a Get Ready With Me, and y'all voted, and I'll put the results of the vote up here as well. But this is the foundation that won. Now typically if I was not doing this for YouTube, I probably would mix these two together, because the thing I found about this foundation is it's definitely very full coverage, and I'm like, I even might have gotten too much. I'm not a full coverage type of gal. I like more of a light to medium coverage, and I wouldn't even call this buildable. Like this is straight up full coverage. I'm also noticing a fragrance. I can't pinpoint it. A little bit fruity. I'm gonna spray my BK Beauty sponge with some Fix Plus. A little fruity. Not perfumey, but fruity. I don't know if you can see, like definitely gives me some coverage. I feel like I might have even gone in with too much. I like more of like a lightweight coverage. I don't have a ton that I'm trying to cover. I just want to even up my skin tone. And this one provides a little bit more coverage than I would prefer on a day-to-day, but I don't think that's necessarily bad. I mean, there's a time and a place for full coverage, and I don't have any full coverage foundations. The other thing I would say about this foundation, now keep in mind, okay, take it with a grain of salt, because like I said, this is my second time wearing it, and I'll touch on it again at the end of the video, but I wouldn't really call this radiant. The other time that I wore this, now keep in mind, I am using hydrating primers. So I went in with the Auric Glow Lust for some radiance. I went in with my Dewdrops by Glow Recipe, my niacinamide dewdrops. Like both of those are very hydrating. I do have dry skin, so I try to keep my skin like super hydrated and moisturized. So you can see a little bit of a glow here, but on its own overall, I wouldn't necessarily like think of this as a radiant foundation. But even just with, I mean, I think I put like a pump and a half on the back of my hand and I still have some there. But I don't think I want to put too much more. I don't want a ton of coverage. But you can see here, I mean, it is covering up like my freckling that I have. It definitely is more full coverage than like the other options that I had listed. Out of those options, I would say, so this one is the most full coverage. After that, I would say the Hourglass, it would be like second place for coverage, and then the NARS, and then the one with the least amount of coverage or the lightest would be the Pat McGrath. Okay, just go in with concealer. I went in with the Kosas concealer, which is in my project pan, and the Milani because the Kosas is a little bit of a deeper color. And I am trying out for the first time this Hydro Melt Lip Mask from Sigma. I just put this on. It's in the shade Hush. I've never worn it before and my lips feel a little bit tingly. I don't know if that's normal. A Hydro Melt Lip Mask. Hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, jojoba oil, and shea butter. I feel like it shouldn't feel tingly. I'm just gonna take it off. I don't know. I just feel weird about that. It's a mask and it's not a plumping mask, so I'm gonna take that off. Okay, so I voted. So I had y'all vote between the two like cream contour products that I have. I will post it right here, the Rare Beauty one. This is in the shade Happy Soul. So we are just going to put this right here in the hollows of the cheeks. And then I'm going to try a brush that I haven't used with it before. This is the 110 by BK Beauty. It's part of their core line that they came out with. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly, that this is the concealer one, but it's kind of dome-like. So I feel like it might also be good for cream contour. We're gonna see. It's pretty dense compared to some of their other brushes that they have. If you ever wanna try BK Beauty, I do have an affiliate link down below and a code, KBella10 will save you 10%. I'm gonna spray the brush with Fix Plus a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of creams, but I have some cream products in my collection, so thought we'd try them out. Okay, so I mentioned I have some stuff to update you guys on, right? So just mentioned, if you're new here, that I have a baby. He's almost 7 months old. He's my second child. I also have a 3-year-old. She'll actually be 4 in April. And if you've been around for a while, then you know that we lost our 11-and-a-half-year-old Boston Terrier Bentley to mouth cancer in the summer. That was really tough on our family. You know, he had been around for like everything, like literally my husband and I got him when we first moved down here to Texas from Michigan, and he lived in our first apartment, he lived in our first house, he was there for our engagement, he was there when we got married, he was there for our first child. So it was like he was here for all of these milestones. And with him being 11-and-a-half and he was still spunky and had energy and he still played with our 5-year-old Frenchie, and we just thought we had so much more time with him. And then we found out last year around Easter time in April that he had mouth cancer and it was already so advanced and it was moving quickly. And so we did palliative care, which means we just took care of him toward the end of his life. We chose not to put him through surgery where they would have to take like half of his jaw according to the vet. We didn't want to do like chemo or radiation, which would really only prolong his life 6 months to a year. So we just did palliative care and we let him live out the remainder of his days with us, and we put him down on July 6th of last year, 2022. And my new news, which you've probably seen from the title because I'm probably going to put it in the title, is that we adopted a dog. We adopted another dog. I am going to take the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. This is also in my project pan, and I'm just going to use my sponge to set my concealer. I didn't want to set it before putting down that cream contour So we were not looking for a dog. We said that after Bentley's passing, we had Royce, you know, she's 5.5. She did fine, like by herself. It wasn't like Royce needed a friend, you know. We had her, we had the new baby. So we just weren't feeling like we needed to go out and get another dog. And we honestly, I mean, Steve and I talked about it and we were like, yeah, we probably won't get another dog until we end up losing Royce, right? Well, I have a coworker and she's pregnant. She's actually due any day now. She's probably going to be having her baby in the next week or two. And if you don't know, I'm a teacher, so she teaches with me. She came up to me one day and she was new this year, so she knew about Bentley. But you know, like had never met him or anything. She came up to me one day and she said, hey, I know you like Boston Terriers. Do you like French Bulldogs? And I was like, as a matter of fact, I do. I happen to have one of each. We're gonna go in with bronzer real quick. These were the bronzer options that I posted. And actually, it went back and forth between the Hourglass and the Charlotte Tilbury. It was like neck and neck. They would be tied and then one would come above the other and then they'd be tied and then one would come above the other. But the Hourglass one, which surprised me a little bit because this is not a new bronzer. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Luminous Bronze Light. I have the smaller one and it's not new. It's been around for a while. I've had it in Project Pans for a while. I've had it for a while. So I was kind of surprised to see that it won. Let me grab a bronzer brush. Okay, we're gonna go in with the BK 103. So as I was saying, she asked if we liked French Bulldogs and I was like, yeah, you know, we have one, and I didn't really know like why she was asking. And she basically mentioned that this lady that her husband knows who lived out west in Texas had a French Bulldog puppy. He's actually barking in the background now, that she was looking to rehome. And she offered this puppy to them, but with them already having 5 animals and a baby on the way, she just felt like it would be too much for her to take on a puppy. And she was like, do you want this puppy? Now, if you are familiar with dogs, with French Bulldogs, they're expensive. French Bulldogs are not a cheap breed. They typically are pretty expensive because the moms have to have C-sections. They can have a lot of health issues, things like that. So I was like, well, I mean, how much does she want for this puppy? You know, my coworker knew that we had just put Bentley down and she was like, oh no, she's just giving us the dog. Like, I'll just give the dog to you. And I was like, so are you telling me that you are going to give me a free French Bulldog? And she was like, that's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you I'm gonna give you a free French Bulldog. So I was like, well, I need to talk to Steve because Steve is not a dog person. Like, he likes our dogs, but he's not someone that's gonna like feel like he needs to save every dog. You know, that's just not him. And so I brought it up to him. I was like, don't say anything right away. Like, I know it's crazy. A puppy. We thought at the time that he was around 6 months, so we thought he was around the same age as my son Quentin. And I was like, just think about it, right? So he ended up thinking about it and he was like, why don't we take the dog on a trial basis? We'll give the dog a week. We'll see if our other dog Royce likes him. We'll see if they get along. We'll see how he does with the kids. We'll see how we do with a puppy. And so that's what I told her. I said, you know what? We will take him. We will give him a week. We'll see kind of if he meshes with our family and we'll go from there. But I'm going to be honest, and I think my husband probably would tell you he knew the same thing. I knew that if this puppy came into our household, unless something drastic happened, like Royce was trying to eat him, I knew this puppy was going to be here to stay. Okay, moving on to blush. These were the blush options. And again, blush kind of went back and forth also. The Kaleidos blush didn't do too hot, but Sigma and Gucci were in the running, and then Patrick Ta would get close and kind of pull back and get close and kind of pull back. But I didn't know if it was going to be between the Sigma or the Gucci blush. And actually Gucci ended up winning out. This is my Gucci blush in Rosy Beige. I've talked about this blush. I've been using it. I've been loving it. It's a favorite of mine. Let me grab the brush I use. I like to go in with the Sigma Large Angled Contour, the F40 for blush application. I do also have an affiliate link with Sigma, and a code KBella will save you 10% there also on the Sigma site. So yeah, we took in this pup. He came with the name Maverick, and we brought him home. And I mean, I told people at work, but I didn't like post it on social media yet. I wasn't like actively talking about it because I honestly didn't know if it was gonna work out. You know, like I was well aware of the fact that we just had a baby, and I'm not gonna lie. You hear about people who have babies and they get puppies or kittens right away, and I'm like, you guys are insane. Like, who does that? Those people are crazy, right? Well, now, that's me. Hey, hi, I'm the problem. It's me. I'm that person. I brought home this puppy. I'll insert a little picture of him here. He's actually almost 8 months old. He was born June 22nd, so he's a little bit older than my coworker thought he was, which is totally fine. We brought him home. He got along great with my dog. Now, my dog Royce, like I said, she is, I'll insert a picture of her as well. She is, I hear my baby crying. He's out there with my husband. But she is actually 5.5. And she does great with other dogs, but the only other dog she's ever lived with was Bentley, right? So she was kind of putting this puppy in his place. You know, she was showing that she was top dog. She meant business. And I was a little worried in the beginning because she like would not let him do anything. She wouldn't let him go by the water dish. She wouldn't let him go by the food bowl. If he grabbed any toys, she was like getting upset with him. So I didn't know how it was going to work out, but after about a week, I mean, they found their groove and Maverick is here to stay. Okay, so I didn't have you vote on eyeshadow because I knew I wanted to use these singles by Oden's Eye. I've only used this one right here in, oh gosh, I don't want to drop it. This one is James. And so I didn't love that one. I think maybe we'll go in with this purple one today, but I want to try it with the NYX glitter primer and see if it adheres to my eyes better. I think I should still prime the whole eye. Okay, so I'm going to use the Fenty Pro Filter and prime the entire eye first, and then do a little crease shade and that lid shade and see how it works out. But anyway, we've had Maverick for 2 weeks now, and he's adjusted well. He came with a crate, and so he was pretty familiar with being in his crate, which was nice because like I said, I mean, he's a little bit of an older puppy. So when we put him in the crate the first couple of nights, he did bark and he was trying to get out. Now we didn't put him in our room. We put him in the dining room because I didn't want him to wake up my son Quentin, who still sleeps in the room with us. And so we thought putting him out there would be better because if he was barking, you know, it wouldn't be as loud, right? So he did. He barked a few times. My husband would let him out to go potty, and then he'd go back in the crate. I'm also using the ABH Soft Glam to kind of give me some crease shades. So we're going to go in with Tempera first, and I'm going to put that just like on the brow bone and crease to kind of set that primer a little bit. But we also crate him while we're at work because my mom watches my son and she watches the neighbor kids while we're at work. My daughter's in preschool, and so it would just be a lot for her to try and keep up with a puppy and with Royce, our other dog. So he's in the crate and he does well with that. He was not potty trained, which, I mean, with a puppy, you know, if you've ever had a puppy before, maybe you're familiar with that. He did not come potty trained, so we've been working on that, but he seems pretty food motivated. He's kind of getting the idea, like, go to the back door if you need to go potty. I think I want to do Dusty Rose right here. So he seems like he's getting the hang of it. This is the Sigma E40 tapered blending brush. But he does great with the kids. He will jump on Brielle and he'll try and lick the kids. So we're working with him on that. But of course, I mean, he is a puppy. So like I expected him to have behaviors like maybe not being potty trained or jumping or being hyper. And you know, I honestly didn't know how it was gonna how it was gonna be. I didn't know if I was gonna like regret it or just be upset that I decided to take this puppy on, but he's kind of found his groove. He's really cute. He does have a wonky eye. So which eye is it for him? It's his left eye. When you're looking at pictures of him, it looks like it's the eye on the right, which is his left eye. And so I was a little concerned about that at first. The vet that we have is the vet that had seen Bentley throughout his whole life. She's seen Royce throughout her whole life. She's really familiar with the smushy-faced breeds, I call them. She has pugs. Her parents have Boston Terriers. And so when we knew that we were going to keep Maverick, I called her out the next week, had her come out and meet him. She gave him all of his shots, checked him out, and she told me that his wonky eye, he was probably born with it. It's a little bit smaller and it like dips in a little bit. And she didn't know that he had much vision in it. She was trying to test his vision, and she did say that sometimes he would react and sometimes he wouldn't. So she thought that perhaps he maybe could see shadows and not like colors or full figures or anything, which is fine with us. I mean, as long as I don't have to do anything with the eye. She said it doesn't need like any extra care, you know, like he was born that way. He's already compensating for it. The lady who owned him, like I said, it was someone that my coworker knew, and she lives 6 hours away. So I never spoke to her. I didn't talk to her about the dog or anything. And I know that she got him from a breeder is what I was told. I'm going to go in with a Sigma pencil brush in that same dusty rose color. And she told my coworker that she got him from the breeder like that. So, you know, that's our story of Maverick. I'm guessing he was probably named after the Top Gun movie. That's what people say when I'm like, oh yeah, this is Maverick. They're like, oh, Top Gun? Yeah, but I didn't name him, so. But I'm sure, but we're gonna keep his name the same. Our vet was like, you could change it if you want, but why would I change it? He already responds to it, he listens. He actually loves to follow me around, and he listens well to me. He listens well to my husband. So we're just working on training, and that's it. That's why I haven't really been able to film or upload. Been a little preoccupied here. So yeah, I've lost my marbles. I have a puppy and a baby. And I'm still working full time, and I'm a little insane. We also, okay, so I'm gonna use my finger in this glitter primer. We also are looking at getting a new house because I've never used this glitter primer before. I'm just gonna rub it between my fingers. So the house that we are in now, we bought this house in 2015 when it was just Steve and I. And it was the perfect house for us. It's 1 story. Oh my gosh, my husband's yelling in the background. It's 4 bedrooms, 2 full baths, dining room, kitchen, living room area. So it's great for us, right? But now, since 2015, our family has grown. My mom moved in with us. We've had 2 kids. Let's see, what brush do I want to use to put this on? Maybe I'll try the Firm Shader by Sigma. I didn't have a lot of luck last time, but I'm going to use the Firm Shader by Sigma and go in with this purple shade. Let me tell you what it is first. This is Robert. Robert is the purple shade. What was I saying? I lose my train of thought all the time. Anyway, we need a new house. We've kind of outgrown, ooh, this is picking up nicely. We've kind of outgrown the one that we're in. And so we've been house hunting, so that's another thing that I have going on. We've been doing a lot of like decluttering and trying to decide what we're gonna keep, what we're gonna get rid of, going through baby clothes and toys. This is a pretty color. Let's see, let me get some more. But yeah, that's what's been going on. So life has been a bit crazy here. And I only added to the craziness and to the chaos. I feel like a glitter primer was the way to go because when I used the other shade, I felt like it was not sticking. and now it's sticking nicely. So I guess if you have these Oden's Eye singles, maybe look into a glitter primer. And that NYX one, you can actually just get at Ulta, and it's pretty affordable. Okay, so that was with a brush. I can hear my mom in the background. In other news with my son, he's getting his first tooth. So my daughter, she was almost a year old by the time she got a tooth. I think it was like 2 weeks before her first birthday. And then she always got like a couple teeth at a time. And like I said, my son is almost 7 months and he already has his first tooth. I feel like that glitter primer did well because when I'm applying this with my finger, I feel like I got just as much pigmentation as when I tried it with just the brush. I was not impressed with this shade right here when I tried it, but this one I feel like is good. There may be more base pigment in it, I don't know. Okay, we'll go in with this shade right here. Oh gosh, what's the name of it? Ella, maybe it's Ella. I'm gonna just tap that in the inner corner. I love an inner corner pop. Just tap, tap, just like that. It looks white in here, but it definitely has like a gold shift to it. Okay, so here's the highlighter post that I never actually posted yesterday when I was supposed to, and the results are, it's tied right now. So granted, it's only been up for probably 30 minutes, but we need to finish our face here and move on with our day. So the one that's closest to me is the Sigma highlighter in Twilight. So I'm gonna use my Sigma tapered highlighter F35, and we are just going to put that right here on the high points of my cheek. I love a highlighter like this that is beaming and glowy without chunky sparkles. So the Pat McGrath Lunar Allure that I had in that poll also is it's really nice because it doesn't have chunks of glitter, but I found that a lot of the Pat McGrath highlighters are chunky and glittery, and I don't like that. So I like highlighters like this where you get a lot of pigmentation and a lot of glow, but without the actual glitter. Okay, so I just put some lashes on. This is my first time wearing lashes. Gosh, probably since my daughter was born in 2019, but these are the BK Beauty times Risa Does Makeup Martini lashes. Now these are the half lashes, and I just wanna say, if you have small eyes like me, this is almost like a full lash. Like it's on the end of my lashes, but it goes all the way on to the inner corner. So I think what I might do next time I try and wear them is just trim off a little bit of the end to make them a little bit more of a half lash. These ones look pretty natural. I can definitely tell I'm rusty. I'm rusty with lash application, but there we have it. The last thing, lip combos. These were the lip combos that I posted. That was another one where it went back and forth. They were tied, they were not tied. And so the winner is right here. It is the Natasha Denona Beatrice lipstick with the Cool BFF lip liner from ColourPop. And I actually don't think they make this lip liner anymore, which is so sad. Because I really like this lip liner if you're looking for more of like a cool neutral. I think my daughter just woke up and she has a birthday party. So my mom's gonna take her, but I need to finish up. So here is Cool BFF. And then Natasha Denona Beatrice. I really like this lipstick, but I thought Cool BFF lip liner would go well with it, but I think it would benefit from a little bit of a deeper lip liner, actually. But here's the finished look. Okay, here we have the finished look. I do think I like these lashes. They're not as intimidating for like the first time I'm wearing lashes in forever. The only thing is because I do have such small eyes and they're hooded, one, I need to just practice in general, but I do think I want to trim just like the tiniest, like tiniest little bit off of the end, and I feel like then it'll look more of like a half lash than a full lash. But I did want to try them out. I did use the House of Glue eyelashes, and I think that's it. I think that is everything on my face. Thank you so much for getting ready with me today. Thank you for voting. If you like this whole Instagram does my makeup, let me know down below. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. That way, if I do this again, you can participate. But that is just a little chit chat, get ready with me, update in my life. I would love to know what is going on with you down below. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe before you go. That way I can see you in the next one. Bye.